Oh my goodness, ladies. Well, welcome. Happy March. Everybody smile pretty for Dana. She's getting us a picture of us, making us getting our picture made. That's what we do in the South. Oh, wait. But come on, Dana. All right, you guys. Well, oh my goodness, what a February. Oh my gosh. And I have got quite a lineup for you here tonight. Just want to kind of go through briefly, just give you a little rundown of what to expect. So if you don't have a pen and paper handy, go zippy doo dah and get one, because we're going to share all kinds of tips and tricks and ideas with you tonight. The Manda Schuler is going to talk to us about her $11,000 February. 11,000, like, yeah. And she's a homeschool mom of 4, and she's been homeschooling back before it was cool. So, with her youngest is 2. So I'm excited to hear how she juggled all that. Lisa King is going to talk to us about her customer service, and she's really been dialing that up. With how she's working through that. Anne-Marie Weldon is supposed to jump on here, and she's doing BLINGO with Park Lane, and how she's changed that up and made it super easy and duplicatable. And then I've really been praying about doing this with you guys, and I think there's a piece of to see the income potential and what am I working for, and what could those numbers look like. And I'm going to talk numbers with y'all and kind of let you see what I'm doing, where they're at, and how I'm keeping track of that, and whatnot. So, and then of course we'll have time in there for some Q&A, and I actually have been working with a business coach, and so I'm going to end with one of the business tips and tricks that she gave me, and it has given me such focus for March. So we're going to end with that. All right, you guys ready? Woohoo! All right, well, let's start with Manda. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Manda. Oh my goodness, sister. Tell us about February. Like, tell us about it.
Okay, so I will first off say that it was not my norm. Like, that's not, you guys won't expect to see that be what my regular is. And it was very crazy. It was a lot. But at the end of January, I had done my launch show. Things were kind of picking up, and I was like, okay, I kind of went into this thinking, we'll see whether or not this will actually work. And I was seeing in January that this is going to work. Ladies are wanting this. People are excited for something like this right now. And so when they announced that we could get double points in February, I started doing the math and figuring out if it was possible, because I don't have a team underneath me. That's something I want to be working on, how I would be able to earn points for getting to this Key West trip. And so I figured out, kind of did some rough math for if I did a really big full February, what that would set me up for the rest of the time to earn points. And I found that it was actually going to be doable if I could do a really busy February. So I sat down with my husband. He told me, he's like, you better say in your training that you have a supportive husband and understanding children. So we kind of all teamed up together, and we were like, okay, mom's going to work really hard in February so that I can be able to earn this. And I think I maybe got more, I almost got double the points that what my original goal was that I was shooting for. So it was really empowering to know that if a need were to come up, that I can go for it. Like if there was a promo or a trip or, a medical bill or something that came up, that I would be able to work really hard and get it. So that's been really empowering. So how I made it work, I have a couple of points and then some kind of bullet points underneath it, because that's how my brain works. So the first thing is I did it all on Facebook. They were all Facebook shows. I had oh man, these are things I should have, right? How many shows did I do? Okay, I should grab my calendar just a second. It's underneath here. Where did I move it? I'm going to teach you guys how organized I am. So I had, I think it was 11 shows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 shows. It was 9 shows. Okay. So I had 9 shows. And the only way that I was able to manage all of the posts and whatnot is Scent Share. So if you have not gotten Scent Share yet, it is the link that I used gave me free for the first 30 days to try it out. And then after that, it's $10 a month. And I tell you, even if this was $50 a month, I would pay for it. It is hands down super, super helpful. So for whatever reason you have something holding you back from that, I don't even fully understand all that it can do, but I do know that I can schedule all my posts and it takes care of everything for me for my show. So that was huge. Another thing with my Facebook shows was I did switch something in the middle of February. I noticed it changed my show's engagement a lot, and I added a welcome post. So I had the hostess inviting her guests like the day before my actual posts are going to start that have to do with the show. And in there has a little post about just kind of some information about what this Park Lane show is going to look like. And then the very first thing that I have pinned at the top is a picture of our hostess and a welcome to the group. And how do you know our hostess? And I usually get like every person to kind of comment on that. So I usually will tag them and say, welcome, Susie Q. We're so excited you're here. Tell us, how do you know our hostess? And so that gets them engaged, and getting maybe people who normally wouldn't have commented on any of our posts, gets them kind of getting to know me a little bit. And I usually try and ask them questions. So if they say, oh, our kids go to school together. Oh, how old are your kids and whatnot? And so it's kind of getting them to know them. And I noticed that when I did that welcome post, I really started noticing them being more engaged in the rest of the show as well. So that was one thing I kind of changed and twerked it during my February that really helped the engagement. The next thing that
Manda, I'm so sorry. Do you do that in the comments of the post?
Yeah, so I do mine in the comments because I didn't want it to be a bunch of posts that people were gonna have to scroll through. I did it all on there. So if I looked at all of my welcome posts, there's like 53 comments on there because I'm talking with them and they're talking, and I just really noticed a big change in that. Good.
Yes,
all
thank
right.
you.
Yeah, the next one that was really helpful was I think that Jennifer Keller has posted it on our group. Carolyn Davis Rowland, did I say her name right? She has verbiage for hostess coaching, and I have saved that to my phone so that I can copy and paste those into my messages to my hostess. So she has a whole thing put together where you could print it off. I don't know if how you can save it to your phone, or people might have had it in the comments so you could save it to your phone. And then she had a fun little like checklist too for you to check off like your posts and things like that. So this is something that might be helpful. I don't personally use that because I have my own system set up. And what I did for my month to keep me organized was I shared this with Jill at the beginning of February. And I was like, this may look scary, but this is what's going to keep me going. And so I put a calendar together, and it's all colorful because each hostess has a color. So I have like her show is in, a purple Sharpie, and then everything that I need to do for her show is all written in purple Sharpie. And so I used the verbiage from Carolyn, and I think it has even send it 6 days out, send it 3 days before. And I wrote on there which message I was supposed to be sending to her. I also wrote on there when I needed to create the group for her party, when I needed to first message her about your show's coming up, do you want me to send you a catalog, all of that, so that every day I could just look and see what do I need to do for today. This helped relieve my brain of feeling like, shoot, when was I supposed to start that show up? Oh my goodness, our show is in 4 days. I'm supposed to start Scent Share and all of that. So everything's written down on here for me, but then I wasn't overwhelmed by the whole month. I could just look at each day and know what I needed to do for them for that day. The other thing that really helped me keep organized, I also have my like post show. So like following up with guests when I needed to wrap up my hostess's show and her order and whatnot on there. The other thing that really helped me keep organized was I heard this from somebody else. All of these things, you guys, mostly are other people's ideas that I heard and then just kind of took them and implemented them in my own. Is she has a notebook. So I have a notebook that I have for my show, and at the top of my paper, I write down the hostess's name, what date the show is, and then I have my prizes that I give away at the top, so that way I can write down the name of who won that prize. So when I'm going out to mail out prizes, I have them all written down at the top. And then I have who sent me wish lists. So as soon as my show gets done and people start sending me wish lists, or if people are sending them to me before the actual style show, I'm writing them down in here. And then I can just flip to the next page. And that's where then I can do all my fun math of figuring out her order. So I have her name up here, what items she wants, the prices, so that then I can be working my math. And these are messy pages. Like I am scratching things out. She's changing her mind. We're adding bonus items and whatnot. And then when they place their order, I put a star next to their name so I can quickly look through and see how many orders we're at. And then I right next to her name, the total of her order, and then if she had bonus items. And that just helps me for at the end of my show to kind of figure out what my profits at, what my retail was for the show. And then at the very bottom, I write down if people book and then their date that they booked. And so this for me just keeps all my orders all in one spot. I'm not having to have notes. I was originally having sticky notes everywhere and writing everything. And so this is all in one spot. I can go back to it. I'll also sometimes use a page in there for the girls that watched the live so that I can go back and maybe follow up with those gals if I haven't gotten their wish list yet, or maybe there was a particular gal that she was commenting on every single one of the posts, but then when it came to the live, she wasn't there, or maybe she didn't send me her wish list, so I can remember to kind of keep track of her. So this is where like all my lists go, her in there for my show. And then as far as my actual live, I'm really motivating my hostess and encouraging her that her main job is to get her friends excited and to come. That her show, if she wants a successful show, that is going to be key for her, is that I notice that the more people we have on the live, the more likely we are to get to your 10 orders. And I think that's in Carolyn's verbiage as well, like setting a goal for her to have 15 people there and using one of the fast 50s if she gets 15 on. And then I keep mine pretty short. I try and keep them around 30 minutes and have lots of fun, because I find even when I've gone to these shows that if they aren't engaging, I really quickly just want to go and do something else. So I want it to be fun and engaging for them. So a really cute little meme that said that my style shows are like mini skirts. They are just long enough to cover everything important, but short enough to keep it interesting. And I like to have that kind of as be my little motivator thing. Inspiring is that's how I try to kind of like to keep my shows. And I've had a lot of gals say that wow, I had a lot of fun. Thanks for keeping this short. I didn't feel like I was stuck on something for a really long time. I also offer prizes for them to be on time, because they've got to have a motivation to be there on time. At the end, if there's a prize to win something free, I usually use a pair of earrings or so. And then I offer a prize at the end for them to send me their wish list. And I don't remember who I got that tip from, but that has been huge. So I offer, and I usually try and offer pretty good prizes, anything that's like $60, $70. And I use my rich rewards to earn those. So those aren't coming out of my pocket. So I offer those two prizes. And then when I am getting their wish list, is my other point is if you guys haven't heard the term of like working your magic math, that has been like my favorite phrase, because everybody's like, okay, girl, work your magic math. And my hostesses, even in the shows, they're like, you guys won't believe Manda's magic math. And so I get their wish lists from them, and I always try and help them build the cart using all of the benefits that we can. So if she sends me a list that has 2 items on it, and maybe they're 2 bigger items, I'm like, oh, great, I can't wait to get these for you half price. Let's find you a couple of smaller items that you wouldn't mind paying full price for, that'll unlock these for half price. And so then she sends me her 2 items that she wants to use for that. I'm like, great, there's 2 more half price items on the table. What would you like for those? Or maybe she's hit her bonus item and I'm like, yay, this is so exciting. You now get to get 2 bonus items for $200, and they use that. So I try and help them build up their cart as much as possible. And some people have gotten that cart and it's, maybe $200, and they're so excited because there's all these pieces that they were wanting and they were thinking were going to be really expensive, and now they can get them for cheap. Or they look at it and their jaw drops and they go, girl, I cannot spend that money. And then I say, okay, great, what were you thinking about spending? And she's like, oh, I'm thinking about spending $80. And then I talk to her about bumping to the 90 and whatnot. So I work with them. So I don't just, if they send me a small list, I don't just put that in the cart and then send it to them. I try and help them to build up a cart to be able to utilize the most. And I have found that people have spent way more than I thought that they would have. I don't know if any of you guys were Premier gals or anything like that. I never had orders like this, never had show totals like this. And so not just assuming that people are going to be shocked by $150 order. Most people tell me they're so excited because 2 of those pieces that they wanted to get were going to cost that. And now they got 7 items instead. So those were kind of my big points. I do work a lot with my hostess after the show. So even if we only got a couple of wish lists that night, she's still chatting with her friends. I send her verbiage for that, like, how to check in with people. And if she's getting like nothing from her friends, then I will reach out to her friends, maybe on Facebook Messenger. I'll look for them and shoot them a message and say that I'm so excited that she's getting close to getting her 10. And do they want to help her to achieve that? Or did they have anything that caught their eye? So yeah. And those were my big points of what I think really helped this last month.
And so where did you find the 9 parties? Talk to us about that.
Okay, got to grab there's my calendar. Okay, so my 9 parties were mostly from my launch party. I was shocked. I had quite a few people from my launch party that were very eager and excited because they were happy that I was going to still get to be their jewelry lady. I had one was a family member that I just told her she was doing one. I was like, I really need this. I am wanting to kick off this business. I've got this great promo coming up. Will you please do a show with me? And she never did a premiere show with me even. But she was one that she did not like the idea of, she's not a big social girl. And so like having a bunch of people over at her home where she had to entertain them, she loved the idea that she could be inviting everybody and directing them to this, and she's sitting at home in her PJs. So kind of maybe asking people that normally you wouldn't ask, who normally wouldn't have done one for you. And then I got one from a gal off Facebook. She commented on one of the pieces, loved the jewelry or whatnot. I was in a really pretty arm party and I sent her a cart of it and she was like, oh yeah, that's a little bit more than I want to spend. And I was like, well, let's do a show and you could get them for free. Yeah. Oh, another show that I got too was actually my mother-in-law, who also would, she did one premiere show for me, and it was when I was very first getting started, but she saw a piece of jewelry. I think it was one of our style drops where you had to put in an order to get it, and she really wanted it. And I was like, well, here's your 2 options. You could put in an order and you could get it, or I'll put in an order and get it for you and give it to you for free at your show. And she booked a show for that, just for $15 pair of earrings that she then didn't have to make a purchase to get. So yeah. And then a couple of the other ones were bookings. Only I think 1 or 2 were bookings from other shows, but otherwise most of them were kind of from my launch party and talking to close friends and family and saying, will you do this?
Fantastic, Manda. Did you all hear, you went real fast past this, but she sent a cart with the arm party to someone who'd commented on that post. And that is probably where I'm so diligent about posting in that stinking group every day, but I'm not diligent about following up on the comments, starting the conversation, engaging them. Manda, that is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Does anybody have any questions for Manda? Then I want to move into, this was fantastic. So you guys know every Sunday night, Amanda doesn't know this is coming, every Sunday night, Jennifer Keller, our Team Sparkle group, has a Grow Your Sparkle OP every Sunday night. And Amanda's, one of her goals is to get on this Key West trip, which means she needs to sponsor 3 more people and get them qualified. And so Amanda, tell us how you got 4 gals on the OP call Sunday night. And then Michelle will take your question after that.
I've actually had now sit and watch it, which is exciting. So what I did was I took the verbiage that Jennifer Keller has underneath, I don't remember where it was at, but it was like to send to past hostesses, future hostesses, or customers. And so I sat down on either it was Friday night or Saturday night, so it was very short notice. And all my customers for the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I sent it to every single customer, that little verbiage of, I'm so glad that you were able to come to such and such a show. And you guys, we can find the verbiage so you're not getting my rambling. And I sent it out to all of them. And I had originally told Jill that I was going to send it to the girls that really stood out to me, like the ones that I thought this would be really great for. And she's like, why are you going to pick and choose? And I was like, I don't know why. And when I sat down to send out the message to the first couple gals, that I was like, they're going to laugh at me and they're going to be like, no way. They weren't even interested in doing a show with me. I even asked them, why on earth would they watch this? And I sent it to them, did it afraid, and had like 13 gals respond back saying they would love to, not even just sure, but we're excited. Yeah, definitely add me. So that's how I think I got a lot of them on. And then I did send lots of reminders. So yesterday, where it's going to be on in an hour. And then when it got done, it's posted. And then this morning, it's not too late. So
congratulations, Manda. Oh my
thanks.
goodness. And you guys, this is a numbers business. And I think that's one of the things that can be really hard because we're so relational. We want it to be about relationships, and it is about relationships and numbers. So sharing, inviting. Y'all, every single Sunday night, 5 o'clock Pacific time, there's going to be one of the leaders doing the OP for you. You don't have to know what to say. And then Jennifer Keller is giving away a free piece of jewelry. Oh my gosh, you guys, like she has them fill out a Google form. So then you get to know what they're thinking, kind of like a customer survey, and they go in the drawing for the free piece of jewelry. Win, win, win. Oh my goodness. And just get in the habit of every customer and hostess for the week. Just, hey, would you want to? And I'm guessing it's on the Trello board, Manda, is probably where
Okay.
she has the verbiage. She's been really good about keeping everything there. Michelle, I see your hand.
So I didn't personally have anything, but there were some comments in the chat that you might want to review when you're asking about questions.
Oh, I see. So the mini skirt, it was, I can post the picture too in like our group text or something. It was, it's short enough to keep it interesting, but long enough to cover the important parts.
I so love that. And being intentional. And that's where I really wanted Manda to share. I realized most of us wouldn't want to do 9 shows in a month. But Manda being incredibly intentional, making hay while the sun is shining. I want these double points. I want to take my husband on this trip. Let's make it happen. And being intentional that way to know that it doesn't just accidentally, it's not going to trip your way into an $11,000 month. You're being super intentional with it. Get yourself organized, whatever that system needs to be. And I won't let you see my office. Around me, I have all the papers flying everywhere as we're figuring out what that system is and giving yourself the time to do that. So thank you so much, Manda, for sharing. I so appreciate that. Lisa, how is your audio? Lisa's been doing some fantastic customer service. You want to jump back in, Lisa?
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Is it better? Because I've been playing around with that, trying to get that to be better. Is the sound better?
Yes, it's a lot better.
Good. Okay. All right. So basically, I have been working on customer service, and in Premiere, I think I kind of maybe at some point felt like I was overwhelmed because I was behind on the ball with, instead of just picking up where I was and being diligent about doing the customer service. This time I said, this is it. I'm going to make sure that I am doing customer service. So what I do is I follow up with everybody. I keep an eye on when their orders are going out. Every couple of days, I check everybody's that's in there. If their orders have gone out, if anything's on back order, I check and I'll I touch base with them. Hey, I seen your order's been shipped out. I'll keep you posted. Even though they're getting the information, it's just a way of me keeping in touch with them. And then I'll say, hey, I seen you got your jewelry today. It was delivered today. Or I seen you got your jewelry was delivered yesterday. Tell me how you like it. So I'm listening to that, what they're saying and trying to build that relationship. I also have this app that's called Reach. And I want to say it's $4.99 a month. It's so worth it, y'all, because I've dealt with a lot of other apps trying to use them, and I had no success with them because when you do the several text message or whatever, in order for them to get the message, it was coming from like a totally different phone number. It wasn't even coming from my phone number. I don't want that. I want them to have my phone number to know it's coming from me and so forth. So in the Reach app, I can go in there. You can set up groups and stuff. It's super easy to work with. I go in there, you can put photos, you can type a message. I might say, hey, just wanted you to know that this is the special for the week. Or I can say, hey, I'm just checking on your jewelry. How are you doing? Or just personal message, whatever. whatever. But you can type that one message, and then you go to that group, and then you click on each person you wanted to go to, and you do have to go send. I don't care. I'll do it 100 times if I have to. It is so much easier because they're getting one personal message. It's not a mass message that, 5 people are getting in a group or anything like that, because people get aggravated with that. So it makes it a lot more personable. And I just, try to keep it like that. So I do that. Following up with their pieces. When I follow up with their pieces, I try to stay very positive. Like I'm saying, hey, how did you like your jewelry? Tell me about the pieces you got. I ask them to go on my Facebook and show a picture of it, if they're willing to do that, but like one particular girl, I was like, well, what did you think about your pieces? She said, well, I wanted a pair of the earrings are a little bit heavy. I said, well, would you like to exchange them? We have an exchange policy and I can do that for you. And she said, oh no, she said, they're really dressy and it's not something I'm going to wear for long periods of time. So I think I'll be fine with it. I said, are you sure? I would like for you to be totally happy with your purchase. And she said, oh, I'm going to be fine with it. And then we just kind of started talking back and forth in reference to that. And then she ended up telling me, like I asked her, what does she do for business or whatever? She told me she makes like the epoxy cups and stuff. I'm like, oh, add me to your group. I love to support my customers and, hostesses and stuff that support me. Add me to your group. Let me see what you do. So we just kind of started making that. And then at the end of the conversation, I said, hey, what do you think about booking a show? Would you like to book a show? And she said, yeah, I'll book a show. And I was like, okay. So, it was like just building that relationship. And that's one of the things. And like I said, keeping it on a positive note, not like, oh, you didn't like that, or just sounding negative about things will kind of turn them off. But if you keep an upbeat and say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry that, those are a little bit too heavy for you, but I'll be happy to exchange them for you. It just kind of puts a different spin on it for them. Letting them know that I would like to friend request them on Facebook if they're if they're okay with that. And I would love to add them to my VIP group. And so one of the things that I did today was I am the type of person that is the unicorn bracelet. I want it. I like it. But it's not about that for me, for the unicorn bracelet. It's about being consistent and building a strong business, a weekly that I have shows going on every week. The unicorn bracelet is just a plus, and I'll be happy to take it. I can't wait to get it, but that's not really my incentive for doing it. So one of the things I did today that I would suggest y'all do, because I'm so excited for the March 11th show. I went into my Facebook VIP group and I went to members and went down the list of members, people that maybe have commented but never bought from me, have never hosted from me, but they're in my VIP group. I sent them a message, went to Facebook Messenger, sent them a message and said, hey, we have this mega show going on March 11th, a little bit of information about it. Would you like, I would love to have you there. Would you like an invite? And I have 14 people going, only 2 have ever bought from me or hosted a show from me. So these are all, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the new customers and the new hostesses and, branching further out to keep that consistency going so that you're not constantly asking the same people over and over again. Because, we all get people in our VIP group that, sometimes they look at it, sometimes they don't. This may encourage them even to go back and look at it. If they've kind of like put it aside, they may go start looking at it again. But it's just something that I'm trying. And I decided today to explore in our website. I went on in the website and did for the March 11th show, went in where you can email people, and I emailed them the invite for people that are my customers in there. You can email your customers, your past hostesses, guests and stuff. I had different categories. I went in there, all the names just dropped through, and you put invite, and then add guests, and then invite them. And I sent them all an email. So I'm waiting to see what happens with that. But I find that there's lots of ways for us to reach out, but sometimes we just have to get out of our own comfort zone. So
Tell them how you get to the email thing.
I went on the website and gosh, I didn't write all that down, Dane.
I think I've been looking at it. It's under tools address book.
Yeah, you know how, yeah, okay, so for example, too, I want to work with, when we go in there and you put in somebody's show order, and then, you know, after that, it tells you, like, it gives you the link, and then it says, like, you can do Facebook, Twitter, all of that stuff. I'm going to explore with one of those. I mean, what's going to happen? You know, I mean, I might learn something that is a real helpful tool. So, I mean, we haven't really explored with it, you know, because we were exploring with everything else. But I feel like I'm trying to reach out to people, and this is, you know, something that I'm going to try. But like I said, I never really thought before about going to, I have like 400 members, close to that, in my VIP group. And I was like, you know, not all of them comment, not all of them have bought, you know, so I just decided that I'm just going to do it afraid, you know, and invite. And what can they say? They cannot answer me. They can say no. But so far, I mean, and I just started doing this yesterday, and so far I have 14 going. So.
Brilliant.
Lisa, is
Yeah.
this the app you're talking about? I don't know if you could see it.
Let me see. It shows, let's see. I know it's green,
That's it.
and it's got an R.
Look,
I can hardly see it. It's
yeah,
just,
it's blocking it out, but that's what it is. It's green.
it's just,
Okay,
it's just like a little quotation mark thing, and it's got like a little R in it.
yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Lisa, you do know that your video is off.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, your video.
I wonder why I couldn't see me, but I'm like, I see everybody else. Y'all, technology is just not my friend. You know why I got to experiment with all this stuff.
But you're exploring and doing great. You're still ahead of me. Remember, I invited you over today to come and share things.
I love it.
I'm excited. I'm hoping that, you know, these other new people going to the March show that have not bought from me or anything will, you know, see something, and it just kind of, even if they don't purchase then, but it kind of like, oh, well, maybe I'll, you know, be looking out, or they'll reach out to me and say, yeah, I do want to purchase. Of course, I'm going to reach back to them, but I'm just hoping it kind of sparks their interest, maybe where they didn't really have an interest before. So, but anyway, that's pretty much it. Just follow up. You know, when they order, I send even a thank you text, and I put it on, like, on a Facebook group. I'll put thank you for your order. One of the things that I've been trying to do, but I was telling Dana today, I've tried, I can't get the 10 order people thing, and I'm trying that. I've even used like the little heart. There's a little heart. I can't do two things at one time. I'm looking for my view thing so y'all could see, but anyway, there's a heart. There's a heart graphic, and it's got the 10 hearts on there. And I go in and I put it in Pick Collage, and every time somebody orders, I put their name on one of the hearts and say, you know, thank you for your order. And then I show the graphic with each person's name on it. So each time I go in and add another person's name on there, showing that trying to get to the 10, but I'm not getting them to the 10. And I'm not quite sure why. If anybody has any suggestions.
Again, I think that's definitely a numbers game,
Start
and
video.
making sure. Oh, there you go. Making sure that there's enough girls in the group. And so I've been really on it with my hostesses. Oh my gosh, you're already at 6. Way to go. And I know, wait, I'm 1 and she's 1. So, but like, super encouraging, super positive. Something that I am changing is I'm going to do one of the Fast 50s if they have 12 girls watching the live. I just feel like 12, it's more than 10, it's less than 15. It's just getting her excited. You've got 12 gals on there to watch. Amanda.
Okay, so I have one little thing to say, something about that. Is one lesson that I learned throughout all of February was to not go into any of my shows with any kind of set expectation. And this may be embarrassing to say or something, but there's certain shows that I was kind of like, well, this one's probably going to be a wash, you know, like, I don't know. I just kind of felt that way about how the hostess was acting, or maybe she wasn't doing the things I asked her to do, or there wasn't as many people in the group. And so I was just kind of feeling maybe a little bummed, or certain shows were like, wow, there's a lot of engagement. This one's going to be really great. And I had several times that God was just kind of like, watch this. And one particular show had, not to say the numbers game is true, very true, but there was one that I was just feeling down about. She had like, I don't even know, 13 people even in the group. And she had, I think maybe 8 on watching or something like that. And she hit her 10 by the next morning. I didn't even like have to try. I had no idea how it happened. And I was just kind of like, what? Like, that's crazy. And then I had to show that I was really excited for it because there was like 40 some people in it. And she had like, a few show up to live. So it is a numbers game, but also just not going into your shows with just that kind of set of thinking like it's going to be a bummer or it's going to be really exciting. And then you kind of get let down. So just kind of going with every single one, like, this is just going to be great. I'm so excited for it. So yeah.
That is very, very great advice, Manda. Thank you. Well, I love, Lisa, that you're messaging everyone in your VIP group. Like, start that, especially those of us who have VIP groups that have been around for a while, like getting that engagement, and then playing around on the website. I mean, how we email and whatnot. That's brilliant, brilliant. Shelly, I see your hand.
And I'm a newbie, so my VIP group is about 113 people or something like that.
Great.
So I went through and literally sent a personal message to each one of them saying that I am having a VIP exclusive party on the 11th, and it's by invitation only. So if they'd like an invitation, let me know, something like that. So I'm trying to hit everyone on my VIP. I know some of you ladies probably have a lot more than that. But having that few, it's a lot easier to just go in and give them each a personal invitation, and they're excited. I think some of them, I've never seen them comment on anything, but it's exclusive and it's invitation only, so they want to go.
I love it. And that's something that as I'm messaging people, I don't just send them a link. I say, hey, would you want a link? Hey, I'm doing this. Would you want a link? And that, like, letting them say yes, then I know, versus me writing down 100 names of people that I've messaged. These are the ones that came back and said, yes, I want a link. Yes, I want a link for that. Lisa.
Writing it down too, like that, and making sure that they're saying yes makes it easier for you to follow back up with them. Because if you're just messaging 100 people, then you have to go back to 100 people and probably 99 of them didn't even get on. So if they're saying yes and you're writing them down, that's what I do. I keep a list of everybody that said yes, so that when I go back in that group, I can tag them and all that kind of stuff. But I can keep track of those people, and I know to go follow back up with those people. Part of follow up.
Yeah, and for everyone who said yes, I even responded to that personally as well, saying, hey, Easter's coming up and Mother's Day's coming up, and either way you can be in a drawing for free jewelry, so I'm so excited that you're joining me. And then I would send the invite, so kind of get them excited about it, so they go and look for it, because some people just don't even go and look for the invite after they say that you can invite them.
Right. So while we're talking about VIP groups, just little lessons learned. You may have saw my video I did on Team Sparkle. So there needs to be a trusted friend, your spouse, whatnot, that is also an admin in your VIP group. So make sure, don't make Jill's mistake. So Facebook still has not gotten back to me on my account that was hacked a week ago. It'll be a week ago tonight, in fact. So make sure you've got another admin in that group. So right now, thankfully, my husband was in the group, so I've jumped in on his Facebook account. So the Matt Jill Ross, that's me, and he barely ever uses his Facebook anyway. But so thankfully, I was already in that group, and thankfully, I had it set up that my group members could post, or I would be completely. And I have worked really hard to get that group to nearly 1,200 people. I really don't want to start fresh. So. But if that's what God says, Jill, you just need to start and see who follows you. And because I know I'm not getting 1,200 people's worth of interaction on that group. So, but anyway, lessons learned from Jill Ross. All right. Well, I want to show you the money. I do love that movie. It's Jerry Maguire is one of my favorites. But here's where, because you know, as you're sitting there and you're like, I have to learn this whole new system. Oh my goodness. Yes, I know jewelry, but I don't know what any of these jewelry names. I don't know how to order it. I don't know how to return it. Nothing's the way it used to be with Premier. There's not even a stinking phone number that I can call customer service. I have to email. I have to wait. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? And that's where I hemmed and hawed, and I talked with my business coach if this was something that she thought, and she's like, Jill, I think, because there's no bragging going on here, but I want you guys to see the real numbers. So is that all right? And that is something that we just really never did a lot in Premier. And I think right now it's hard. Right now we're all learning a whole bunch of new things. We're going live on Facebook, right, Karen Siegel? We've never done that before. Like, it is hard. It is hard. And to help you get through the hard, to help you just fail forward. Y'all, it's only a failure if it makes you stop. Right? You're gonna say dumb stuff on Facebook Live. You're gonna forget the things of jewelry. You're probably gonna break a piece as you're like showing it, you know, like all the things that we used to be scared of, you know, at a jewelry party. Now it's happening, you know, that it's worth it. So and those of you hang on, share screen. So don't panic when you see this screen, but I was at school all day today and I have a billion things open, so don't.
Jill, while you're doing that, I dropped my phone during the show.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
That was-
okay.
Oh goodness. Well, one of the things that I did, oh goodness, and which one is it? It's probably why my computer's so slow because I have so many tabs open here, but I'll just talk as we wait. I think it's that one. If it'll let me slide over, is one of the things where I kind of wanted to be able to compare apples to apples, and with getting paid, I mean, not even really getting paid on our jewelry shows, like the money would just show up, right? And then, but then getting that once a month check from our downline, you know, wanting to be able to compare apples to apples of just like, am I making more money? Am I making the same amount of money? Like, you know, it was so good for so long, and then it was so lean for a good long time after that. So I created this little spreadsheet here. And if you've gotten that report from Park Lane on Friday, it gives you the breakdowns of each of these columns. So I kind of wanted to see. So here are my totals. I personally, my profit that I've made from my shows is over $3,000, just that my own personal commission. And I got those numbers directly from my report. My overrides, that's what I've made on my team. So that's commission is your personal retail overrides. So over $4,000 since December. My bonuses. So once you start promoting up, and I'm going to talk big time about this branch up training next Monday, and then the destination division at the end of the month, y'all, these bonuses, I've already had $2,900 in bonuses since December. Qualified hostesses. So remember, if you have a show that has over $150 non-commission, they're going to give you that $9 back. So there's my little, ooh, I've gotten $54 back. So exciting. And then one of the bonuses that at sales vice president is if I think it's either hit 2,500 in the month or I have a qualified recruit, I get a 5% bonus on my personal. So that's been another $308. And then I've been really, something I told my husband that, and I'll just be super on, y'all, I'm just so candid. I was horrible about tithing on my Premier money. Good about tithing on my commission check, because that would come in, that'd be a big check. But on my personal, because it just was always, it just kind of was there, like, and you just never felt it. So I said, Matt, I want to get serious about tithing on all of this. And God owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. And so Matt's like, okay, well, if you're going to tithe on it, then we're going to keep track of your expenses as well. So I've been really making sure I'm keeping track of those expenses. Am I really making money? And so this 80, almost $700, that's after all of my expenses. I bought a new printer that still will not talk to my laptop. It's killing me. I'm about to like $360 and I still can't print. It talks to everyone else's laptop in the house, but the old one did too. So might be my laptop. Anyway, so then each week with, what breaking out those numbers into that. And then I've been totaling it up, so the monthly total, I guess that was January, $3,300 profit. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about that. And as I look at the team numbers, we still have a whole bunch of people that have not qualified yet. So, or have not even started yet. So again, sharing those with you, there's nothing braggy there. It is God providing for the Ross family. And I'm not telling you, you need to get 7 kids, but bigger coffers for the people that are trying to raise 7 of them. Anyway, but it's worth it. This is going to be worth it. It's going to be worth learning these new systems, and maybe that's not, most people want to make $500 a month. That's all. And giving yourself permission to make $500 a month. It's okay. You do not have to do 9 parties like Manda Schuler. You don't have to have different colored Sharpies to keep track of all you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. But Manda has a gigantic why, and that is pushing her to do that. Maybe you just 2 parties a month, like getting the consistency of that. So the beauty of this business, it's your business and you get to decide what that looks like. And I think more than anything is I just want you to decide, what am I going to do with this? What do I want to have happen with this? And then follow it up with the action of making that happen. So something we did, I don't know, gosh, one of our very first calls was our act as if list. So I want you to get your pen and paper out right now. And I want you, what are 10 things that you want to have accomplished by the end of March? And I want you to write them on the list as if they've already happened. I want to hold 3 parties. I want to sell $2,000 worth of product. I want to hit 20,000 trip points. I'm sorry, not I want to, I did. I have 20,000 trip points. I sold $1,000 in product. I sponsored 2 new stylists. I helped 4 people promote. I'm reading you my action list for March. I got my Cint share set up. I set up my hostess coaching system. I got to 1,200 people in my VIP group. I read a leadership book. I learned how to time block. I dialed up my customer service. Lisa, you've totally inspired me. I had to add in a number 11. And now you need to get to 10. And usually it's pretty easy getting to 5 or 6. And it's those last ones that we have to start digging a little bit. I want to watch a training a day. I mean, who spends time in the car? Who spends time on the treadmill? You guys know my story about almost killing myself on the treadmill. Tish Mafford. Who's walking the dog? Being intentional with that. Now look at that list of 10. And what do you feel like is the most important thing on that list? Like if I accomplished that, it would help the rest of the list happen. And I'll tell you, I learned how to time block. Because for me, That is my most precious resource. How I'm spending my time, what I'm doing with it, and being able to be incredibly intentional with my time in order to achieve these other things that I've set out to do. So at the end of March, I want you to keep that list, put it where you can see it, put it where you can review it. Of course you can adjust it. Of course you can change it. Of course life can happen. Maybe you're hoping to own a unicorn baby bracelet by the end of this month. The new unicorn baby never made it on my list here. Oh, because they announced at the beginning of March. I wrote this list on February 19th. Maybe that was why. But being intentional with Park Lane, I don't want this to be something that you feel frustrated with all the time. I want this to be something that you feel empowered with, that you feel like you can take a step with. I realized, oh gosh, probably 4 years ago, that my mission is to empower women to become all that God had called them to be. To empower women. And that has flowed over into my VIP group, and how the message that I bring into that VIP group it's okay to take 20 minutes to look good. Because when we look good, we feel good. When we feel good, we do good. And to empower them that way that they can go and be and do what God has called them. In the last year, God has showed me that never once did he add to that statement in Premier Designs, as I had lots of gals leaving and going to other companies. And as I'm doing the Facebook scroll, can genuinely say congratulations, that you felt empowered to go and be and do in whatever God called you to go and be and do, that I'm able to genuinely cheer her on, that for whatever reason, Premier Designs, Devoted, now Park Lane wasn't the vehicle that she needed to do that with. Maybe it was the vehicle that taught her the tools and the skill sets that she needed to be able to go and be and do what God had called her to. And so I want to challenge you guys. You're going to hear me say this over and over and over again. That is my soapbox. I don't want this to be something that you sit in the corner and makes you feel guilty. I want this to be something that makes you feel just valued and special, and God uses it as a vehicle that you can speak into other people's lives, like in a way that is just the truth that you can speak to them. I mean, you guys have seen it, the power of a pair of earrings, dang, and the conversation that she's having with you and continuing to have with you. So, all right, soapbox done. We've been here for almost an hour. I want to wrap this up with last little bits of your calendar. So pull that March calendar out just so you don't forget. That Team Mega Show is always the first Monday of the month. It's going to be at 7 o'clock Central Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time. Jennifer Keller, it sounds like she's going to be the one doing that Team Mega Show just about every month. And she knows what she's doing. The second Monday of the month is this. So, and this is going to have to be our new time, 8 o'clock Central, because the sales vice presidents meet the hour before. So this is our night to meet. The third Monday of the month is branch up training. Here's another thing. If you are not already a branch, you need to be there. It is a 5% permanent raise, y'all. 5% permanent raise. When I look at my 5% raise on my numbers, I made an extra $300 with my 5% raise. Like, it's going to add up, ladies. And you never go backwards in Park Lane. So maybe the one and done, you sponsor one and done, and she doesn't renew, whatnot. It is a permanent personal raise for you. So make sure you jump on that call, figure out how to branch up.
And what
Kelly.
time is that call?
I think it's at 7 o'clock Central. It'll be on the, look on the header of Jennifer Keller's banner on the Team Sparkle. I'm pretty sure it's 7 o'clock Central. If you're an area or above, that's a great training to go to help your gals. How do we branch up? And y'all, it is so easy. It is so easy to branch up. The fourth Monday of the month is our Team Sparkle training. Team Sparkle training, it'll go about 45 minutes, and then we're going to have our team after party. So we'll jump right back on here. We'll talk about what we learned, other things I'm sure I will have learned in the next 2 weeks, or you'll have learned in the next 2 weeks. We'll talk about those too. And then for March, because it's a 5 Monday month, we have an extra destination division training. So we go fashion director, branch, area, division. Isn't that how we go, Dana? That's how we go. All right, destination division. So for those of you branch and area directors, come to that and find out, how do I promote up again? How do I get up to that division leader? At division leader, it is a 45% commission. Y'all, it's for real. And again, just being very intentional with that, planning your success for that and how to make it happen. With Park Lane, and even like you promote to branch, if you don't tell Park Lane and fill out the promotion paperwork and send it to them, they will not promote you. And I love that, because this is a business. If you didn't want a promotion, you just bumbled your way into it. They don't want to promote you. They want you knowing, hey, I know what I was doing. This was intentional. I wanted this to happen to get that promotion. Does that make sense? All right, girls. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And any last minute questions? Or thanks, Lisa and Manda, for sharing. Oh my goodness. All right, so make sure you all have another admin in your VIP group. At least learn from me. Kim Banta.
You had said there was something else we needed to get, some kind of code. What was that? I didn't go back and relook at it. And as long as you're mentioning it, I thought I'd ask.
It's called a 2 authenticator code. Lyra, didn't you post something in there? The 2. Oh, Connie Whitmire had posted it. If you go into Team Sparkle, oh, look at me, I can't even, I turned it. And it literally takes 18 seconds to do. 13 seconds of it, you'll be reading about how to do it on Google.
Okay, so just Google it, just Google it. Okay.
Yeah, Facebook authenticator code. And that's what the person who hacked my account did. They turned on that authenticator code, and now I can't get in.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. And especially, I mean, this is right now, our primary means of doing business. And then, okay, just a little lesson learned this morning. So I did a mystery hostess show in my VIP group yesterday, and it was all the luck of the stylish, right? Because we got, almost said Valentine, the green holiday coming up, St. Patrick's Day. And I think my opening line on there is feeling lucky. Well, woke up this morning and Facebook had taken down my video because apparently it's promoting gambling. So don't use, I'm wondering if it's the feeling lucky. I protested it. 4 minutes later, it's a 30-minute video, 32-minute video. 4 minutes later, they came back. Nope, we looked at it again. It promotes gambling. So I know, Belinda, right now, I'm not really fans of Facebook. So maybe don't use the word lucky, because it hasn't been very lucky for me. I don't know. So unless anyone knows anything different, have you ever had a video pulled off? I am a rule follower, people, and let me tell you, it has made me very gun shy. I don't like to be in trouble. Anyway, I'm Facebook is not going to win. Ding dang.
Jill, did you ask him what you could use instead of lucky?
Well, I went back and I disputed it, and I said, hey, this is a video. I rep a line of jewelry. I'm giving away the free product from everyone who orders. And that was 4 minutes later, they came back and said, nope, and there's no way for me to go back to them again. It's not like we can start.
Wow.
So I'm guessing, Jennifer Keller and I were talking about, I'm like, maybe the word lucky. Ironically, my post that explained the whole thing is still up. So it's just the video they weren't fans of. Anyway, isn't that crazy? I just like, it's okay. He's not, the evil one is not gonna win. Lara.
I have a friend who works for Facebook that might be able to help. So send me your
Well-
conversations.
Well, it's gone. I mean, I didn't
Oh.
save it to my phone. It's gone. And that was Jennifer Keller had watched. She's like, Jill, that was awesome. You were great. I'm like, oh, Jennifer thinks that, made me feel good about myself for a minute. I took it down.
So the just FYI, you can save any video forever and like save it to your own page also, instead of just
That would, and I'm like, there's no way in 4 minutes you watched my 32-minute video and told me it was gambling. I think it was that feeling lucky. What's the name of the post? So it's all good.
I think it has something to do with the fact that you're also having them try to get you back in. And so your Facebook group is coming up because your name is coming up. And they also don't want you to do that in your Facebook group because they want you to do it on a page and pay to advertise.
Oh, right. Oh, that might be it too.
So
All
the
right,
fact that
kids.
you
Well,
had a line of jewelry, it's like, don't say that.
yeah, that's true. I don't even know. Yeah, something along those lines. All right, kids. Well, I will see you next week at the branch up training. Unless you're already like pros and you already could do the training, and then let Jennifer know so then she doesn't have to do it. Otherwise, I'll see y'all next Monday branching up. Love you, ladies. Thanks for joining me.